Volunteers, head coach Josh Heupel.
Thanks for the formal introduction there, Bill. Hope everybody had a great summer. Great to have everybody back. It's time to go play ball, and so excited to get to work with these guys. Great energy, synergy, success on our campus. You can see that just over the last calendar year, what's transpired really in every sport. You look at the facilities, what continues to be done here on campus. Not sure that there's ever been a better time to be involved. Really excited about what our staff and our players have done on the recruiting side of it. We just got done with another huge weekend. The success, the energy that surrounds our program and campus in the city of Knoxville, a huge part of it. Really proud of what we've done up until this point. But as this month goes dead, still a lot of recruiting opportunities for us. As we get ready to kick off training camp here, really proud of what this team has done throughout the course of summer, winning the third quarter, being intentional in the way they compete and work, change their bodies, grow as players, the connection that we have. Excited to take that, what they did this summer with Coach Schmidt and our strength staff, and parlay that into to who we are when we get to the field here tomorrow. So you look at it, we're a month away from opening up the season. There's a lot of work from coaches and players who we are today when we get out on the field on day one to where we need to be by the time that we open up the season. And for us, just our competitive makeup, our attention to the details, our growth from one play to the next, one day to the next, really important as we go through the next month here and get ready for the opener. So with that, I'll open it up for some questions.
Questions? We'll get a mic to you. We'll start with Rob and then go to Adam.
Coach, I don't think you ever wanted to talk about a timetable 4 years ago, but I mean, is this about where you envision things going? Do you feel like you're ahead of schedule? Are you happy, kind of just the journey to this point?
Yeah, we've never set a ceiling on who and what we can be. I think that was a huge part of the buy-in from our players that we overtook the program. It's been instrumental in us competing to be our best every single day. With all the things that we inherited and had to navigate through, I am really proud of what we've done as a program, players and coaches together, to navigate that space. When I first got here, I used the verbiage of speed bumps. There were speed bumps that we had to navigate. We've handled that in a really positive way. You look at the trajectory of where we're going on all sides of it. Couldn't be more excited about where we have an opportunity to get to. We're in a race to get there as fast as we can. We got to be diligent and intentional in the way that we compete every single day. But certainly, those speed bumps that we inherited when we first got here, we've been able to navigate extremely well, and really those aren't a part of things that we got to be dealing with as we move forward.
Josh, sometimes when you bring in a five-star quarterback, they can have sort of like a diva quality. That's obviously not been the case with Nico. When did you realize he had that type of humility, and what's the source of that humility?
Yeah, if you were a five-star quarterback, we'd be more concerned about that diva mentality than we were with Nico. I think it's been really, it's been a big part of how the players have responded to him. A guy that came in here, wanted to earn it, went to work every single day, has developed great relationships with guys on his side of the ball, but on the other side of the ball as well. And will continue to grow as a leader, but how he works, how he competes, coming out and earning it, his consistency and who he is every day inside the building has been a huge part of the trust, love, and belief that our players have in him.
John here on the right, then Eric on the left.
Josh, how comfortable would you be if Gaston Moore had to take meaningful snaps in this offense now?
Yeah, got great trust and belief in Gaston. He has great command and understanding of what we're doing, the ability to operate within it. I'll be able to answer that question better at the end of training camp. Everybody inside of our program's got to go learn it, earn it, and take the role that they have when we get to the end of training camp.
A lot of new faces in the summer and in the spring, transfers, early enrollees. What is that group kind of added to your team on the field and obviously the locker room?
Yeah, physical skill sets, length, athletic ability, ability to go make plays, skilled guys when the ball's in the air, size, athleticism, ability to move people up front. Those guys, you guys have heard me say it throughout the course of the spring, all of your young players, but everybody inside your building's got an opportunity when we get on the field tomorrow to be a dramatically different player from where they were when they finished spring ball. And that happens through how intentional you are during the summer, continue to grow and understand or change your bodies, but then the understanding of our schemes as well. So we get out there tomorrow, expect us to be much further individually and collectively, and in particular those new guys that showed up in January.
Austin and then Casey in the back.
Coach, you talked about recruiting the last few weeks and months. How big is the state of North Carolina for Tennessee? Traditionally, I know it's been pretty big, but it seems like you all are spending more time there than previous staffs have.
It is important for us. It's a border state. For us, we believe, look at it, view it as a part of our footprint. We're intentional in how we recruit that state. You look at our early signing classes, a guy like James Pierce that has come into this program, grown, and really developed himself as a player and as a person. Obviously, the opportunity or where he's projected. State of North Carolina is really important to us, and that's how we recruit it. The opportunity that we have in week 2 to be over there in front of them playing inside of that state is a real unique opportunity for us as a program as well.
Casey.
Several players have talked about how Nico has earned the respect inside the locker room. Just curious when that point was that you saw him earn that respect and how it's influenced the entire offense.
Yeah, I really think that's started from day one and how he came into the building, who he is and how he just interacts, develop relationships with your teammates. I think that's really important. Hard to lead somebody if you don't have a relationship with them. It's a lot easier to have good conversations or tough conversations with somebody in a one-on-one or in a group setting when you have a relationship with them. So I think that's been instrumental from the very beginning, and then just his growth and how he competes has been really important too. Players have great trust and confidence in him because of those things, and then obviously the talent as well.
Ellie up front.
Excuse me.
Coach, what's one thing you're wanting to see from your team during this fall camp?
Play as hard as you can. Guys are going to make a bunch of mistakes. Don't make the same mistake twice. You individually and us collectively got a chance to get climb really quickly if we do that. But more than anything, it's learning how to play from snap to whistle, how hard you got to compete.
Reese in the back.
Coach, how important were those snaps for Cam Sutton in the bowl game in order to help develop and take it to your second year?
Yeah, running back position, I like what they did in the spring. The opportunity for Cam, all of our young guys, to play more meaningful snaps on offense or defense versus some of the roles that they had on special teams throughout the course of it was really important for them to understand what the game looks and feels like, the deficiencies that they have, how they had to grow. You know, for Cam, the running back position, there's a couple guys there that missed spring ball. Their growth here during training camp will be really important for that position to be as strong as it needs to inside that room.
Brent, then Emily.
Just one, how healthy are you as a team entering camp? And two, when you have as many veterans as you have, do you manage a camp different with a more veteran team than do a young team? Kind of what does that look like? I know each team is different. What does that look like with this team?
Yeah, there's no shortcuts to it. You look at NFL training camp and see the vets out there. You got to prepare yourself and be ready to play. We're always looking at the loads of our players, you know, positions that you put your guys that have played a bunch of football in during some of the situational stuff that you go through, cycle through during the course of training camp. So those are things that as a staff we'll monitor as we go through it. Feel pretty good about the health of our players. Some of the guys, excuse me, some of the guys that missed spring ball that have been in rehab and may have already gotten fully clear during the course of the summer. We'll be intentional, just like we are with the entire roster, but really intentional with those guys as far as how we build them, early in training camp and their volumes.
Coach, at this point, what gives you the most confidence in this team as a whole heading into this season?
You rebuild your team every single year. It starts with just how connected they are, their want and ability to be consistent in their competitive makeup. They've done a great job of that throughout the course of spring ball, through the course of summer. But now you're in the last phase of your off season, even though it's preparation for the season. We got to go, win every rep every day during the course of this training camp. So there's a lot of growth that needs to take place during this time of year.
Where are you at in the process of determining a kicker for this season? What do you like about those three guys?
Just like every spot, you learn it, earn it, and go take a job. So throughout the course of training camp, there'll be great competition, really at every spot, but certainly our specialists are gonna have to compete. That's kickoff guy, it's point scorer, it's your punt team, it's your snappers as well.
Riley then Ben.
Coach, last season, your offense statistically took a step back from your first couple of seasons here. What do you want to work on in camp as you head into trying to do week one?
Yeah, a lot of that was red zone efficiency in the red zone, penalties in the red zone. We got to be better. We've been intentional in our work throughout the course of spring ball, but we got to come back. We got to be a smarter team, be more efficient and effective in that area.
Josh, where is Cam Sullivan as he works his way back from injury this past spring? And how has Lance Hurd transitioned to your offense this offseason?
Yeah, Lance did a great job during the course of spring ball. I thought he really grew throughout the course of it, just fundamentals, technique. He's a really young player, got a great ceiling in front of him. I'm looking forward to seeing him during the course of training camp. The first part of your question was Cam's done a great job during the rehab process. He works extremely hard. He's on pace right now. As we go throughout training camp, his ability to be a part of everything that we're doing will increase from the beginning to the end of training camp, and hope to have him healthy early in the season.
3 questions in the back, Reese, Frank, and Rick.
You said that, back here, Coach, you said that this is the deepest wide receiver room you've ever had. What makes that the case?
Well, just pure numbers. We got here and there's some things that we had to navigate with our scholarships on our roster. Recruiting bigs, they're gonna take a little bit more time to develop potentially. You end up being a little bit short at some skill spots. Wide receivers been one of those. The bigs that have been on our roster, a number of scholarship players, but then the playmaking ability of those guys, some of those young guys being in our program multiple years, got a lot of trust in those guys. Can't wait to see it when we get to training camp. But guys that have a great understanding of what we're doing offensively, also have the ability to make plays and go up and attack the football and be consistent winners.
Coach, back here, how much confidence does it help you have when you've got James Pierce coming back, especially with the amount of national recognition he's got over the past couple months?
Yeah, James, great playmaker. You guys saw that throughout the course of last year, his growth from his freshman to second year being here. Love what he's done during the course of this offseason. Has the ability to affect the football game with his skill set. The growth and development of the guys around him is going to be extremely important. If you just got one up there, they got a chance to chip, slide, max protect, and try to limit that guy's ability to affect the game. So James's development really important. There's things that inside of his game he's been intentional on trying to grow in. Looking forward to training camp with him, but then the continued growth of the guys around him as well.
Josh, everybody was excited for the baseball team. Did you see some of that excitement filter through your football program during the offseason?
Yeah, when it's going good on a college campus, it's going good 365 days out of the year. Your logo's in front of the entire country. You have great game day environments to take your recruits to, so the success that we had in baseball, basketball, all of that helps us on the recruiting side of it for sure.
Austin, West, and Joe.
Coach, with the recent rule change line, some of the QCs go out onto the field, how do you feel like that helps your staff this fall? And then the fact that some of them could potentially go out on the road as recruiters, is that something you thought about at all?
Yeah, those are things that, we'll work through before we get out on the road. But for your, quality controls, to be a part of your practice, be able to, put their eyes on somebody, instant feedback, the breaking up of some of your drills, to be able to be more intentional with, a position group, just gives you more flexibility and freedom and more guys that are making an impact on your players.
Josh, with the tight end position, what kind of off-season have you seen from those guys, and what's sort of next for their development? What do you want to see from them in camp? Obviously, there's a lot of new faces there.
Yeah, a lot of new faces, young face, and Ethan Davis, just, a guy that missed his senior year, because of injury, came in, got nicked up, so there wasn't a lot of physical development with him, before, last fall. Dramatically different player body, right now than what you guys have seen. That's another position that we're deeper at than we have been, since we got here. And, for us, there's great competition in that group. They care about each other, they cheer each other on, but they compete extremely hard too. I feel like they got a great understanding of what we're doing offensively. That's a position group as young as they were in their first spring, this past spring, with some of the transfers, and Ethan being young. I feel like through the course of summer, they've really grown and gained confidence and comfort in what we're doing. Looking forward to seeing that as we go through training camp.
Right here.
Josh, where is Nico in terms of his total command of the offense, and what do you want to see him improve the most from now till the start of the season?
Yeah, I thought really the bowl game, for him to take it from the practice field to the game, for the game, it really has slowed down for him during the course of the game. He had great command during that. I think that speaks volume about him as a player and understanding what we're doing. He's been very urgent, worked hard, understanding what we're doing offensively, defensive schemes, the ability to control everything from the run game to protections, to checks that we have inside of our offense. He's got a great understanding of that. He's a young player, he's got one starter underneath him. We expect him to play at a really high level right from the jump, but there's gonna be a growth and maturation for him as a player inside of what we're doing as well.
Patrick.
Coach, another big picture question. The settlement with the House lawsuit last week means that starting maybe as soon as next year, you might have 20 more scholarships to give out, but your roster's gonna be limited to 105. I'm not sure how much thought you've been given that yet, but what's maybe the initial good, bad on some of the changes that are coming?
Yeah, there's been a lot of things that have happened, transpired late in the summer, from rules to what you just talked about. For us, personnel, myself, and our staff, being able to work through and navigate, where the best spot for us to end at as far as the 105, that'll be different than what we currently carry, to, how we operate as an athletic department as well, are all things that we're working through.
Two more, Brent, and then to the back with Emily.
Coach, you talked about, the depth that you have at different positions and kind of overall with this team. What do you credit the roster management that this program has had since you've been here too? What do you think has been the key to the roster management to put this program where it's at right now?
Yeah, I think it starts with athletic department administration, being able to have a good idea of where we think things may have landed early in the process, to be able to take and swallow up some of those numbers initially, being smart and having a plan, for the current year, but where we need to be in a year or two as well. And then you look at what we've been able to do on the recruiting side of it, from personnel to our coaches, and at the end of the day, then the brand continuing to get stronger. What our success has been out on the road. So you put all that together, that's allowed us to continue to build the roster that we need to go win.
Last one.
Talk about a lot of urgency with a lot of these newer guys. How have you seen them settle into the program, especially with the hype around so many new faces coming to Tennessee?
Yeah, the guys that came in January, and we got 8 or 9 that showed up in June as well. This is the most mature group of newcomers as transfers and high school kids. Certainly the most mature group of high school kids that we've had inside of our program. I think that stems from us being intentional, further along in the recruiting process as coaches, recruiting to our culture, knowing what we're bringing in. I think it also stems from the leadership inside of our locker room, being able to grab those guys, make sure they understand the standards of what it means to be a Tennessee ball.
Thank you, Coach. Coach will be available again tomorrow